Hey, welcome to the Essential Talks podcast. I'm Kimberly, your solo host today, and we're doing things a little bit differently for the next little while to help promote and push the fitness and wellness sector. Today, we're doing a one-on-one episode, and it's going to be awesome. Anthony and Terra, these two gym owners, have not only been successful as a fitness facility in two different towns by remaining open and exercising their rights, but they have also opened up another side business, overcoming all the odds during this time. These two have overcome tremendous adversity while remaining so humble and supportive to others, knowing health in all aspects is of extreme importance right now. Anthony, thank you so much for being here.
No, it's a pleasure, Kim.
Yeah. Okay. Let's dive right into it. How did you get into the fitness sector? How was your life kind of growing up as an early adult? Were you into other businesses before you came into the fitness world?
Yeah, I've been in fitness since I was at the age of 15. So it's something I grew up with. I've been playing sports. I was an athlete. So it just kind of it was inevitable for me to get into fitness, for sure. I was a personal trainer at a young age, at about 17, 18. That's when I started that. So, and I was a personal trainer up until I was about, let's say, 26 before I opened up my first gym. And then what else? Yeah, I've been in it for a long time. I've just been in the business for a long time. I've done other things on the side too as well. I've always been an entrepreneur. I stopped working in a cubicle when I was like 19. So I haven't worked in a building since then. I've always worked for myself. But I think fitness was just one of those things that was always a part of my life. My dad had me in boxing. He had me doing all types of things. So it was just, like I said, it was just part of the DNA that I was going to fall into something gym related or something fitness related as well. My education is kinesiology too. That's my background. So sciences. So I was going to open up clinics before, but then my friend and I decided to start off with gyms because it was just more fun to have a gym than for us. It was more fun. A gym was more fun than a clinic, right? So we just kind of changed our course there.
Yeah. So when did you first open your first gym? What led you to do that?
It was after I was probably 25, 26. I moved up to Sault Ste. Marie. It was after school. We had graduated. We didn't even stay for our graduation. The story is a very long one, so I'm going to keep it really short. I could talk about it for an hour. It'll take 2 hours. But long story short, it was our last year in school. It was our second year in Ken. And the whole focus was to open up clinics once we were done this. But as we were training, playing sports, we kind of gravitated more to the physical fitness side and the physiology of like how to get your body from one extreme to the other, and then weight loss and biomechanics. We just kind of took the education into another direction because, like I said, it was just more fun, right? I was doing a placement for physio as well, and it was just very for me it was just very like you go in and some people will always be the treatment will never get them to 100%, and for me that was kind of like like knowing that you have all this education to help people but it's not going to do any good just because their injuries are so severe. It was one of those things that kind of like I want to make a difference. I want to put a smile on someone's face. I want to know that when I'm working with someone that they are going to get a result, and it's ultimately going to end up in a positive, end up positively, right?
Yeah.
So we left for last year for school. We skipped our graduation, all that stuff. We moved to Sault Ste. Marie, lived in the building that we started renting out, and that was our first gym. Was in Sault Ste. Marie.
Okay. And what was the transition like from Sault Ste. Marie to where you are now? Because I know you own a couple different facilities now. How many years in between was that? How did that transpire?
Like I was up in Sault Ste. Marie for about 3 years. I got kind of bored there because there's really back then was nothing to do. So after 3 years, my friend he met a girl. He got serious with her. I was in Sault Ste. Marie. I was just like, okay, maybe it's time for me to move back to the city. So he bought me out of the two locations that we had up there by then. I came back. I was really just trying to figure out what to do next. So I was exploring with many different things. I started an athlete promotion company when I came back. And then I met, what did I do after that? There was just so many little things in between that we were doing. There's multiple businesses. A lot of them failed. Some of them were successful enough to put food on the table for me, but I was always, and then some of them were highly successful, and I ended up, selling them to other people and moving on. Fast forward to now, Terra used to work for the Marriott, and like I said, I was always an entrepreneur, and I was always like, we got to do something for ourselves. We gotta start something. So we got together, and we started a family, and then we decided to move outside of Brampton just to raise our family, just because it was just really, really busy, and we just wanted to move somewhere that was a little bit more multicultural in terms of different types of people to raise our kids around, just so they could have different experiences. And up here in Shelburne was wonderful, right? This Dufferin County area was wonderful. So we moved up here, and then like I said, I was like, we need to start something. There was no gyms up in Shelburne. There was nothing going on fitness wise. I mean, there was, but the rumor was that there was nothing really up here that stuck, right? So let's say, I know Terra one day said I should start running a class, because we were in between, I was in between different ideas, and she said, you should start running a class just to keep myself busy. I said, sure. So I started running the class. The turnout was amazing. And then it transitioned from, shoot, we can't have all these people in the house all the time. We need a location. So we were looking for locations. Nothing panned out. One day, Tara was actually going to work one morning, and she said, how about we just rent this facility here? I was like, that's the size. We just want a studio. That's enough for a gym. And then she was just like, mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, let's just do it, right? Let's just start the gym. So that's how the gym started in Shelburne. Ever since then, really it started because of the turnout of the people that were coming to the classes. We had it was just a hill full of people. It was a crazy turnout, but that's how the gym started here, because of the community and the interest that they had in fitness, right? Based on the classes that I was running.
Yeah. And did Orangeville came later then? I didn't even know you owned that one till recently.
Yeah, Orangeville came a little bit later. A friend of mine who I was actually working with many years ago at Good Life, she was actually up here, and owners of the Physio Med Health Clinic at the gym, in the Orangeville gym, was looking for someone to kind of manage the gym and kind of bring the gym up a little bit. That wasn't their area of expertise. So my friend actually said that, Anthony's just 20 minutes away. He has a wealth of knowledge in gyms and fitness. You should talk to him. So we went, we had a talk, we came to a deal, and then we took over that gym there, and we became partners. So that's how the Orangeville location came into play.
Amazing. So Trainer Games, what
Right.
does it stand for? What is your motto?
Our slogan or motto, which one?
Both.
Slogan. So, well, it's just pretty similar. So the slogan is a healthier, stronger community. It's based around, Trainer Games is, the concept was that Trainer Games was started off as an athlete promotion company, right? Where it was for personal trainers, and we surrounded it with games, right? The whole idea was to, kind of like the Coliseum, is to have trainers compete against each other from all over Ontario. And, in that way, that would help promote their personal training styles, right? So that's what I was doing before. So Trainer Games came from that. When we opened up the gym, we decided to keep it like that. And we figured that everyone trains at some point in their life. So everyone has had a little bit of physical activity at some point in their life. So the word trainer really applies to pretty much everybody when you look at it, since everyone at some point, whether you're an athlete or whether you're just a regular individual, when you're working out, you're training yourself, period, right? So, Trainer Games kind of broadened it. It kind of expanded into just being something from an athlete promotion company to being something for everybody, because everyone does train themselves, and everyone, it is really truly it is a game, right? It's a game of formulas and finding out what works best for you. And it's a game of patience. It's a game of finding out, how strong you are mentally to stick through a 6-month goal, a 1-year goal, in order to achieve something that you want to achieve, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's well said. That's awesome.
Mhm,
So you've been open prior to all of this. What differences
mhm.
in clientele, attitude, or demeanor have you witnessed before and during this
Before and
this
during, well,
whole?
yeah, well, before when everything was closed, I mean, we were getting emails from so many people that I didn't know. You know, like the gym helps people in many different ways, but you never know. Everyone, you see people coming to the gym working out, and you're like, yes, everyone's working on their physical activity, but for so many people, it's more than just physical, right? It's a whole mental thing. It helps them de-stress themselves. It helps them stay healthier. A lot of people are working out not only to look good, but they're working out more for their personal well-being, whatever that may mean to each individual. So what I've seen is from the closure, we were receiving a lot of emails from people who just wanted to come into the gym. They were asking, "Can you just open up the gym? I can't stay in my house," things like that. And I can go on and on about the emails, but there were just so many, right? So this, so there's nothing we could do. Like, I mean, at that time, it was kind of like, what is going on with the world? So you were kind of cautious. But I think after that experience, I knew right then. I was just like, Tara, like we're not going to close a second time. There's no way we can let people suffer like this. And that was just the basis of staying open. We didn't know how we were going to do it. We didn't have a plan. All we knew that was next time if this happened, we're not staying closed. So we started to do our research into the law, things like that, got some advice from our lawyers, some advice from other individuals in the industry, and we found a loophole. Well, not really a loophole. It's actually a law, an act that stated the Disability Act, which allowed people who had special programming from either kinesiologists, physiotherapists, personal trainers. It allowed them to continue their training, and it was amended in I think February 15th of 21. During the lockdown, it was amended that gyms could also be part of that program too as well. So, we consulted our lawyer. The lawyer said, "Whoa, this is amazing. You can definitely do it, no problem," right? So we opened up, and that was it.
Awesome. So that was that was within the capacity that you guys stayed open was under the Disabilities Act, correct?
Yeah, the ADODA Act. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And do you have like physiotherapists and massage therapists in there as well, or is it just strictly a gym facility?
Yeah, so we do have physiotherapists in there too as well. I mean, they're not there as much anymore. They've graduated on to, opening up their own locations. But we do have personal trainers there that aid our members with physical disabilities, as well as personal training is part. It's mental too as well, right? I mean, you're dealing with someone over hours and hours, and I mean, you're talking, you're discussing, you're finding out what triggers them, how to calm them. So it's our trainers are very well equipped to handle all sorts of people. So yes.
Yeah, I've always said
Mhm.
I never train for the physical aspect because that to me is a
Yeah.
little bit of ego driven, and
Hmm.
it's just so much more mental health for me and many, many others for
Oh
sure.
yeah. I think when you're
Um,
younger, it's a different story, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
For me too. I've
yeah.
changed too. I used to work out because I wanted to look good too, but it's changed so much since then. Hmm.
Yeah, definitely. We all go through that growth in life as individuals for sure.
Yeah.
So let's fast forward. Let's get into the nitty gritty. Pandemic happens.
Right.
How did you respond to everything? Did you have a lot of pushback from public health, bylaw, police, or even media?
So the funny thing with that is, and I'm going to be really, really like upfront about it, is that we had more pushback from the general public, not even from public health, not even from the police officers or anything like that. It was just more from the general public, which was surprising. And it was coming
Okay.
from people who didn't live an active lifestyle. I mean, they would stand across the street at Tim Hortons watching people exercise and complaining and calling. So of course, cops had to come by, and the officers around here were really great. To be honest, they came by before the lockdown, and they said, "Listen, if we come by, it's because we got a call." That was the message from the officers. They said, "If anyone comes by, it's just because we received a complaint. We have to look into it. We're not trying to," which was kind of refreshing. So, like, I mean, to know that they supported what we were doing off the record, of course, because they can't on the record. It was good to hear. A lot of them are members at my gym too, so they understand physical fitness and how important that is, especially during a time like this when everyone started kind of wake up a little bit, right? But it was more
Yeah.
pushback from the general public, from people who did not, who weren't really living an active lifestyle. That was where most of the pushback came from. Bylaw would show up only because of complaints. They did a quick check of our facility. We didn't even hesitate, and they said, "You guys are doing all the right things. Stay open." Right, and especially under the Disability Act too as well. So they really couldn't do anything in terms of shut us down, but they said they gave us the okay to stay open based on all the protocols we had in place.
That's awesome. It's a shame. There's always, there's always one. There's always a negative Nancy, bitter Betty, right? So,
Right.
but good for you. Good for you guys for staying strong and doing that. Were you given a ticket? And if so, have you paid it? And how have you dealt with it?
No, we were never issued any tickets. We were threatened with tickets in terms of like, just because, some officers came by and they said, you can get a ticket, not to me personally, but to some other people coming out of the gym. But I mean, that never panned out into anything at all. We never received one ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are
I
you,
think Terra says Terra's available now.
Tara, are you here? Hello.
I think she's in the back room or something.
Yay. Welcome. Oh, you're muted here. Let's take off can you just unmute yourself? We'll have to say hello to her.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she's working on it. You're muted, hun.
I think she's back with dealing with kids. She'll pop in, I'm sure, when she sees. Yeah.
We'll unmute her eventually, or
She'll
look
pop
into
in.
that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So are you guys, you're fully open now, correct? And under the Disability Act still, or how are you operating currently?
Yep. We're all operating under the Disability Act too as well, still as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the feedback been like from your clients? How do they feel about being able to still go and train during this time?
Oh, they love it. I mean, when we opened up last time, it was thank yous, and you don't know how much this has helped me, and you don't know what this is doing for us, like how you've saved us, things like that. Like, I mean, it's been very positive, right? So, the first question was, you guys are staying open, right? They know that we would stay open. There's no way anyone's closing over this. There's no reason to. And if you know what you're doing, if you know your law, everyone should be open. Everyone should be open regardless. I mean, every business should just open regardless of any acts or anything like that. Every business should just be open. You just open up and that's it. And everything stops, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, it really does.
That's all you gotta do.
With united non-compliance, right? And everybody looking into their rights and knowing that we're just law-abiding citizens at the end of the day. People can call us selfish or whatever they want. We're just following the law. Hi, Tara.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Welcome. It's so nice to see your beautiful face.
Oh, you as well. Thank you.
I didn't know if you wanted to chime in and tell us how this last couple of years have been for you personally and professionally, and we'll let you talk while you have a moment away from the kids.
Well, if you hear them in the background, don't be surprised. They are away for now. I have about 2 minutes of quiet, probably.
Perfect.
But honestly, these past 2 years have been crazy. I mean, for me, a little bit more so than most people. I had my battle with cancer that, of course, started right in the middle of the pandemic. So it was definitely a challenge for us. Obviously, when we're trying to fight the system to keep the gym open, to stay open, but then also, Anthony and I visiting the hospital every single day for months. But it was a challenge, but you know what? It was a really good feeling on so many levels, because I felt that we were doing what we were supposed to be doing on all levels. Like we were supposed to be staying open for the members. We were supposed to be staying open for the community. I was supposed to be fighting my battle. Everything was just supposed to happen. And, at the end of the day, everything turned out the way that, that it was supposed to. So.
Yeah, I know we've had to talk about that too, and it ultimately just makes you stronger in life and
Mhm.
with our connections with others too. So God bless you. Um, you guys, I don't know if you how much detail you want to go into it. If it's not okay to talk about it, we won't go there. But you guys also opened up a separate business. Can you talk about that a little bit, Tara, before you head out?
Sure. Yeah, no, absolutely. So, you know, the pandemic, like I said, it affected us on so many levels. But first of which was, Anthony has always been an entrepreneur, as he touched on in the beginning. But for me, I was kind of an entrepreneur on a small scale. I was always interested in it, but I wasn't the type of person like Anthony where I just would jump in with 2 feet. Like I owned a hiring agency, where I would hire for cruise lines and resorts. But then I always had another job that would pay the bills if that didn't work out. I owned a photo booth company, um, and that was fine. But again, it was kind of like my side gig. So I was an entrepreneur part time, and then but Anthony was always there. On me saying, we have to do something. We have to do something, you got to stop working for the man, but I'm like, but I love my job. It's great. I love it. It's fun. I'm good at it. And then, the pandemic happened and I lost my job. I was, working within the sales industry for a large hotel chain. And I've been there for 15 years. And just overnight, I was let go. I was just a number. At the end of the day, I was just a number to them. And, whatever their choice was, whether I cost too much, whatever it was, I was let go. And we're kind of like, okay, the gym's closed. I've lost my career. Now what? And we had been playing with the idea of a cannabis store the year prior when they were doing the lottery. But we just never did it. We never applied for it. We're just like, not right now, kind of thing. Like, what are the chances of us winning the lottery? Funny enough, one of my friends won the lottery, but we just never did it. And then, of course, when I lost my career and the gym was closed, we're like, well, now's a better time. Now's a good time. Why not? So, we jumped in with 2 feet, and May of 2021 is finally when our cannabis store was permitted to open by the government. Funny that fitness is not essential, but cannabis is essential. I never thought in my lifetime I would see when fitness and haircuts were illegal, but cannabis would be legal.
Right.
Anyway, crazy world we're living in. But so the process started. Anthony and I started the process in April of 2020. And then, the process finally finished in May of 2021. We've opened up a second cannabis store within the gym in Shelburne as well, because guess what? If the gym gets shut down, the cannabis will still be open, so we can still pay rent. So we added a
Amazing.
layer. Yeah, we added a layer of, essential into our businesses. And all the rest is history. I mean, the cannabis stores are going great. And we focus a lot on CBD within the store, that is connected to the gym. We're super, super, super happy with that. We've learned how to really navigate in these crazy times when, you think that you're going to be going down the road and turning left, but really, we're going down the road and we have to turn right and we have to figure it out as we go. And I think that we've done a pretty good job with that. We have, amazing support from the community, which is incredible.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My next question was going to be, how long can you guys survive at this rate? But it sounds like business is booming. Is the store busier than ever, the one even outside of the gym?
So Brampton is smoking busy. That we're, the last time that we checked, in the comparisons, we were ahead of most stores in Ontario too, in the Ontario region. We were surpassing the average stores in Brampton as well as Ontario as of November of 2021. Shelburne's, comparing Brampton to Shelburne is like comparing apples to oranges. Obviously, just the volume and just the population is night and day, Brampton versus Shelburne. However, Anthony and I opened up the Shelburne store with goals, obviously, and anticipated projections. Shelburne is on par, and if not on par, it's exceeding our expectations. So there's not a day that's passed since we opened in October that we did not meet or exceed our expectations there. So we're super happy. And then Sterling is going to be opening up probably February or March of this year as well. So that'll be our third store, and we're just going to be continuing to keep on going until we decide that we're done. And then well, I don't think Anthony will ever be done. I could never be done with Anthony on my side because he doesn't like resting. But so those are the three so far, but we will be definitely opening more.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, would you guys both say the positivity has outweighed the negativity you guys have kind of endured throughout the last couple of years?
100%.
I think it's all perspective, right? I mean, you could take any situation and be like, oh yeah, it's terrible, I'm just not going to do anything. I think you just kind of have to find the light within everything. Horrible things happen. Horrible things are always going to happen. That's just a cycle of life. You have to take the good out of it and then make it what you want it to be. So I always say, yes, the positive always outweighs, because that's how I look at things, right? May not be everyone, but that's how I like to look at things. So my answer is, yeah, positive is outweighing the negatives.
That's awesome. Yeah. It's also, it's so negative to live in that victim mentality too, right? So I agree with you.
Yeah.
Everything is perspective, and we get our growth and strength from overcoming everything. And there's nothing worse to me than living in that poor me state. So,
yeah, exactly.
So let's fast forward 10, 20 years. You guys have children. How would your future self respond to the stance you're taking today?
I really don't think about it, to be honest. I think for me, it's just, you do your best you can today. It will reflect tomorrow. That's one of the things I keep in the back of my mind. And that's really, it's that simple for me. You do the best you can today, and it will reflect later on tomorrow. So that's how I take it. I think the future is bright, despite the darkness that we're in right now. And I think at the end of the day, everything will sort itself out the way it should, in a positive light. That's what I truly believe will happen. When we look around, you look on social media right now. Last year, it was a totally different language that was being spoken, and now all across Ontario, people are very, very aware of the situation, and that keeps on changing every single day. So things are looking good. People are waking up. And things are actually looking better. Like when you pay attention, you can see that, people are starting to stand up for themselves. It took us a while, but the fact is it's happening. And that's all that matters, that the stand is happening, right?
Yeah.
Whereas me, I'm Anthony and I are yin and yang. I would look back and I'd be proud of us 100%. I wouldn't have done anything different. I would look back at us and I'd say, you know what, we're showing our kids how to stand up for what we believe in. We're showing our kids, how to navigate in crazy uncharted waters. Our kids are 3, 6, and 8. So the 3-year-old has no idea what's going on. But, the 6 and the 8-year-old, like they're really, like my 8-year-old asked me on Monday, they're like, so we're in a lockdown right now? And I said, yeah. And she goes, but the gym's still open. I'm like, yes, it is. And she says, but I thought we were in a lockdown. I said, well, the gym, we're open under special circumstances. So people that, people that need to come to the gym are coming to the gym right now. And she's like, oh. And just like she doesn't really understand what's going on, but she's starting to realize, and she's starting to ask these questions. And then of course, I'm proud of us for learning to navigate in these crazy times. We changed the structure, the entire structure of the gym in Shelburne to make it work. Like we closed down the daycare, we closed down the cafe, we adjusted the class schedules to make that work. We brought our payroll down significantly. We decreased costs in areas that we were able to, so that even when we're working with a minimal income, because of, obviously our membership base decreased because, we were open under the Disabilities Act, we were still able to, pay our rent and pay our bills based on the adjustments that we made without the, many of the government supports. That was one thing that was super important to Anthony, is to do as much as we could without, the government supports. And, if you would have asked us 3 years ago, would we shut down daycare? No way. Our members needed it. But guess what? We were able to make those adjustments. The members were just fine without a daycare. They were just, the gym was open. So it was, I like I said, when I first started this, I wouldn't have changed a thing that we did. And, I'm excited that we're making it through this pandemic.
I'm thrilled for you both. Yeah. And a lot of times I think businesses forget, or business owners forget, a lot of times we just have to pivot and go with the flow. We don't really, we don't have it all figured out. We learn through our mistakes and pushing through, and that's how, we kind of move forward in our next move. Sometimes it's all about just jumping and figuring it out later. Right. So,
and just hoping it works.
Yeah. And if it doesn't, there's a reason why it doesn't. And then you learn from that, and something else will come forward, even better out of it. Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Just keep going forward no matter what.
Yeah.
Sure.
What would be your best advice for other gyms, fitness, wellness, business owners that want to reopen right now, but haven't yet?
Open up. Your members need you. They depend on the facility. It's more than just looking good and being physical. I mean, not being physical, but it's more than just looking good. Like, your members have a bigger reason than just looking in the mirror why they come to your gym. So there's no reason why you should not be opening up for their sake. Like, they need it. People need to be more active now more than ever. We know that exercise is the catalyst to good health. Nothing is set in stone. Doesn't mean that you can't get sick or nothing, but we know that exercise makes the body stronger, which in turn keeps you healthier, which in turn minimizes illness and disease. So that reason alone is why every gym owner should have their gyms open for their members.
And why do you think they haven't?
Fear.
Like
Too much
propaganda, or
too much watching mainstream media. I mean, that's all it is. It's just constant brainwashing. We all know this. You watch it long enough, you trap people in their homes for 6 months to a year, 2 years, watching the same reels, the same messaging. I mean, these guys are smart. They know what they're doing. It's very systematic. If there was any type of real outbreak, it would not go down like this. I mean, it wouldn't be so structured and so organized. It's too organized to be chaos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The thing that I find so interesting is that, gym owners, they typically get into the industry because they want to help people, because they care about health and wellness, and they care about people's well-being. And, when we are, speaking to different gym owners, I mean, a few of them, they just outright say, well, it's the right thing to do, to close down, to protect the people. That just blows my mind. And, I just want to shake my head, because it's like, you're doing more harm than good by shutting down, because like Anthony said, your members need you. But, if they said that in the beginning, okay, so be it. So did we. We thought that we were doing the right thing. But then when we realized, no, the right thing is to stay open for those people that need us. That's what the right thing is. And if people are still saying that, we're shutting down because of the government and the fear, like almost 2 years into it, that's scary. That's because they must be either A, brainwashed by the media, or B, just terrified because of the media. And, like Anthony said, we've stayed open legally, and we haven't received a fine or anything, because we're not doing anything wrong. The Disabilities Act was put into place February of last year. It's almost a year that this has been put into place. It is legal. A gym owner in the Waterloo area, not too far from us, is the one who fought the courts. And she's the one that put the Disabilities Act into place for people that need it. And if there's gym owners that are not taking advantage of it, I don't understand why. Like, you're given permission to open under these pretenses to help these people that need you. Why not? Like, I don't understand why not.
Like, there's two sides of the coin. There's you have your, like, I'm not even trying to be politically correct or anything, but I don't want to insult anyone. But there's two sides. You have your people that are fearful on one side, and then you have the people who I guess know better than to be afraid at this point. And I think there are some gym owners out there who strongly believe, just like there's other people in the public that strongly believe that they are in harm's way, that they are in danger, that this thing is going to, this thing is deadly and it's going to kill them because of the messaging. I don't think they don't want to open because they just don't want to open. It's fear. And they actually truly believe that we are in some sort of crisis. I mean, it's been 2 years, almost 3 years of a hardcore campaign, fear campaign. It's psychological. It has a lot of effects on people. It's a war on it's a psychological war. Like, they're playing on the minds of the people and on the needs of the people. And people are desperate and people are afraid. And if you keep watching mainstream media, not out looking for other credible sources other than what's on the tube, you are going to be manipulated, because it's all you see. And your brain, it's not a conscious decision. Our brains are 10 steps ahead of us. We may think that we like what's red, but our brain has already told us a long time ago that we like what's red. It's not really our decision. Our brain has made that up for us. So I think when you see these things over and over and over for 2-3 years, they're indoctrinated. They believe it 100%. It's the only messaging they're looking at. So I think people are afraid, genuinely afraid of what's going on. And I think the gym owners that are not opening up are genuinely afraid of their well-being based on the messaging that they're receiving and the sources they're looking at, right?
Yeah,
it's genuine fear.
Yeah, and I think it's a lot of doubting themselves too. Like, I'm a firm
Yeah.
believer we can control our thoughts, therefore we can control our feelings, right? But
Yeah.
it's just so much of that intake of constant propaganda and fear. So it is no wonder. But I'm so proud of you guys for not giving into that, for seeing through the light, for keeping your business open. You're helping so many people. How are you guys moving forward? Anything, I know you've kind of shared a little bit, but anything upcoming you want anyone to know? Anything you feel comfortable sharing before we let you go?
Yeah, we're open. Come work out. Come keep yourself healthy. Yeah, and you know what? And that's just the truth, right? Like, we're open. If you're looking for a gym, come by. We don't want to overcrowd the place, but like we do have things structured out in a way that like time-wise throughout the day where the gym has not been overcrowded. We've taken care to look at that and to space things out. We've sent out emails of what's the best times to come for people who are not regular members of our gym, because we do want to cater to our members and make sure that they have certain times that the gym's not overcrowded, and we want to stay that way because we don't want any complaints. But everything's structured out pretty well, and we think if people need to work out, we're here. Like, if you need to de-stress, we're here. You want to continue keeping yourself healthy and making your body stronger in a time like this, we're here to help. That's just what we're here to do, right? Period.
That's amazing. Yep. So again, for everyone watching, Trainer Games in Shelburne as well as Orangeville, Terra and Anthony would be happy to answer any questions if you guys want to reach out to them. We are all essential is our business empowerment network. Our Essential Talks podcast is coming out with many more episodes moving forward. If anyone wants to volunteer, we're always looking for volunteers. If you have a special gift and you want to help serve the community and the country, we'll take on volunteers as well. But we are allessential.ca. You can find a directory for all our businesses that are standing up to this tyranny, and we'll stay open for you, non-discriminatory. Terra and Anthony, thank you again for being here. And I got to come in that gym one of these days. I got to make my butt up to Shelburne and see you guys again.
Whenever we're here.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
You too.
As well.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.